The purpose of this youth camp is to ensure that the younger workers come together and share experiences and discuss the issues pertaining the youth. Therefore, our aim of this year's camp, one, is to increase awareness and participation of younger workers and innovation in organizing campaigns and related activities. Two, to initiate increased awareness in industrial skilling among the younger workers. Three is to promote visibility of participating in the union affairs. The purpose why we came to Mukono was we wanted to increase visibility. And many of you, as you drove, our friends. Secondly, we want to promote and instill awareness and instill resilience into the youth. The youth, my colleague has highlighted that you are the future of tomorrow. And we want tomorrow when we leave, the trade union should remain alive. And we want to assure you that we are ready to continue nurturing you. We are ready to continue grooming you into the fine trade unionists. I want to thank you. So far, I have seen you. You are very resilient. This is one of the ways we are going to ensure that we groom people, that when we leave, tomorrow we have a replacement. When the youth come like this, they get interested, they pick up new ideas, they get to know each other, and they form synergies at the end of the day. I want to thank you, the General Secretaries, who have done so.
I'm called Nyirabashitsi Sarah. I had people suffering pronouncing the name. Nyirabashitsi Sarah Mateke, the woman member of Parliament of Soro District. Soro is 500 kilometers from Kampala, bordering two countries, DRC and Uganda, and the Minister of State for Gender, Labour and Social Development, in charge of youth and children. I believe that this camp is highly welcome since it is being held within the legal framework and the relevant provisions of the national laws of the country. It will definitely go a long way to strengthen the capacity of the trade unions and the workers to streamline their collective bargaining in the country. More still, such engagements help to build strong collective bargaining and, of course, effectively undertake mobilization of the workers towards decent work activities. I therefore want to take this opportunity to thank the leadership of National Organization of Trade Unions for their successful event that has brought together all the categories of participants to deliberate on matters of trade union mobilization and collective bargaining. And I believe that from this meeting, as you're sitting in the panel, there is a lot that I have learned when I went to this ministry. The workers don't want to talk openly. I see people sending messages. Honorable Minister, please help us. We have spent 4 months without getting salary. We are suffering like this. Is this not on WhatsApp? Then when I answer yes, then they begin taking pictures, how they are suffering, how they do not have protective gears, how they don't. Then I asked myself, one time I told them, what is wrong with you writing a letter or visiting our ministry? Because we have people who are in charge of that. And then you know what, one of them told me, the moment I come out, I will be sacked. So I felt that you are not being helped enough by telling you that you have to come together. I love what my senior has said. When you're going to fight and you move together, it is easy. But when you go alone, then you're fired. And that's what I think. So I believe that from this camp, you're going to get a lot of information, how you can empower yourself. And I believe at the end of this camp, and I'm very hopeful that a lot will get out and you will achieve a lot. You will register a lot of achievement since you've come here in terms of improving your workplaces, improving your capacity in your workplaces. I believe at the end of the camp, and I'm very hopeful that a lot of achievements will be registered towards harmonious industrial relations in the country. Key discussions related to mental health, changing nature of our work, the link to supply chain, and wages are very critical to help build a team that will support all efforts related to harmonious working relations in the country. The challenge you have ahead of you is to organize and mobilize all the members to the point that non-unionized workers see what they miss by not joining the unions, and employers without unions also find difficulties with operating without trade unions engagements. According to the UGOS Labor Force 2021 survey, you will find that 22%, which is 9.3 million, were youth between 18 to 30, 55% persons between 14 and 64 years of age, working age. And out of the 9.3 million youth, only 37% were in employment. I believe that it's not a very good signal for us. And out of that, 41% were neither in employment, education, or in any training, according to the UGOS report 2021. That means that the percentage makes around 3.4 million youth who are only employed out of 9.3 million youth. And I believe that from 2021 to today, the number has increased. I wish to know the country continue to suffer a lot of decent work deficits, key among which include the following. I had my sister talk about it: violence and harassment of workers in workplaces, inadequate protection of workers to prevent accidents and injuries, delayed compensation of workers for injuries sustained and scheduled diseases incurred in the course of employment, negative attitudes towards work by employees. I had my sister saying that, I think Yolanda talked about that we need a law on the labor migration. Who mentioned it? I think we really need it, because I have seen, even yesterday, we lost a very young boy who had gone for some share somewhere and came back just 2 weeks ago. Yesterday he died. The river collapsed and everything collapsed. Nobody knows what happened. Where was he working? How do you go? They should first go through my colleagues' institution to be trained and know that even as they go, what happens. Of course, we have negative attitudes towards work by employees, inadequate social security of workers and non-remittance of the contributions, non-issuance of contracts and appointment letters. This one is very key. I managed to visit one of the, I think, the factories. I was in Western Uganda that time for monitoring. And every factory I will meet, I would ask, can you please give me appointment letters for these people? Nobody was giving me appointment letters. You find appointment letters for only these people at the top, not more than 3-4 people. Then you ask yourself, what is happening with these other ones? So this one is very key. Continued termination of workers without observance of the correct procedures, excessively long working hours, inadequate social protection and gender-based discrimination, informal work and non-standard forms of employment, including temporary work, part-time work and other multi-party employment arrangements. The above deficits are responsibilities of all of us, government, trade unions, and employers' organizations, including every person attending this camp. The young workers also need to pay a lot of attention to these deficits, since they are the ones most affected by such decent work deficits. I urge all stakeholders present to join government in addressing these deficits as listed above. As for government, we shall continue to provide the enabling environment through provision of appropriate legislations and building the enforcement capacity for implementation of favorable working conditions in the country. And at this juncture, I really want to thank your MPs. I thought you give a clap for them.